Hey, happy Wednesday, travel lovers. It's hump day. It's your boy Sean from the Sean Experiment, and we got lots of news today for you. Talking about smoking on cruises. Where can you smoke and where can you smoke again? Hint, hint. New rules coming out. Also talking about vaccinated and unvaccinated people being allowed to cruise. Is that going to happen? And lots of changes to Carnival Cruise Line itineraries. There are 5 ships that are just jumbling all their itineraries around. Not necessarily itinerary, but what ship they're on. And if you're on one of those boats, you may want to know about it. So let's get into it. All right, welcome back. And first off, I would just like to invite you to subscribe to the channel. It's super free, super easy. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button and show some love. Like the video, share it. Really appreciate that. So let's jump into our first story. Our first story is about smoking. So all my smokers out there, things have changed over the last, I guess, couple years, you would say, and really even over the last few months. On Carnival, Royal, Norwegian, really all the cruise lines, where can you smoke and where can't you smoke? So they have designated areas. So let's talk specifically Carnival because I was on one a couple weeks ago, but this is very similar for all major cruise lines. So they have areas where you are allowed to smoke. Now, none of those areas have been indoor for the last several months. The casino, which was a famous place to go and just catch a drink at the bar and smoke a cigarette, no longer can smoke inside. Some boats had other areas, like cigar bars and different things like that. No more. You could smoke in the club as well. No more. Now, some people are out there rejoicing, but smokers are out there going like, oh, where do I got to go? Well, let me tell you, in most ships, there are going to be at least 4 areas. Now, they're normally on the same levels. And they have a couple. So for instance, on the Carnival Horizon, there is a deck 11 smoking area, actually 2 of them. One in the back of the ship, one in like the middle of the ship, kind of by the pool, overlooking the pool actually. And then there's another one on deck 5. They're both in the same front of the ship, but they are on 2 different sides of the ship. So really that's kind of it, right? That's all you could do. So not a big deal. I mean, if you really want a cigarette that bad, I guess you'll take the walk, but this limited to where you can go. Well, Carnival has come out and said smoking is back in the casinos. Yeah, starting Valentine's Day, because they love you, I think is what that meant. So there are some special rules though. So you used to be able to walk straight into the casino, fire up a cigarette, do what you want, sit at the bar, have a cigarette. There was kind of like a half smoking section, half not. And that's no longer the case. So now there is smoking in the casino only if you're gambling and seated. So that means at a slot machine, maybe at a table game. And they're saying if you are not actively smoking or drinking, mask up. And so we start to see a glimpse into some of the changes of these rules. So you can smoke again and you can puff it in and blow your, breath and smoke all over the place, but mask up if you're not smoking. So I don't know. So weird rules, but they're back. Royal Caribbean followed suit as well this week, allowing smoking in their casino again. Now, their casino is for vaccinated guests only. Royal Caribbean is going into a vaccinated and non-vaccinated area cruise like they were before the variant. So smoking is back. So for you smokers, there's a little bit, if you're a gambler and a smoker, if you got 2 bad vices, you're in. If you don't gamble, you still got to go to your designated area. So we're starting to see some leniency, some rules come back. I would imagine as numbers continue to drop and more treatments and things continue to happen and be available to the general public, then we will start to see sort of normal cruising come back. So that's really exciting for all the smokers. And by the way, if you're a smoker that doesn't smoke cigarettes, first we'll talk about like e-cigs and maybe, pens or whatever you're into. People do those everywhere. I mean, like, we were on the cruise and they were doing them pretty much at all opportunity. I didn't really see any like security stopping them. To be fair, maybe there was a couple people on the cruise in the cigarette smoking area just smoking joints. Whatever, right? No big deal. So if you're a smoker of any variety, there's probably room for you, although you may, get some head turns from the cigarette smokers like, that's a weird cigarette. Just say, it's a clove. It's fine. If you know, you know, right? So that's it for smoking. Lots of little changes coming. Welcome back to the casino. But let's get on to our next story. So some changes around being vaccinated or not vaccinated. And before I say changes, I'd really rather say some hints to some major changes. So if you go to book a cruise right now on Carnival, there's a few different things you can see. One, you can see the health and safety protocols. Now, inside the health and safety protocols, there was an update. This was updated on February the 12th, and they snuck in there that for all people, you have to be vaccinated, you have to have a negative test result, all the things they've been doing, and you have to show your vaccination card, at the embarkation. However, it now says test. If you are recovered from COVID in the last 3 months, you do not have to show a negative test result at embarkation for vaccinated and non-vaccinated guests. So now I think, the looking in from the outside, they're talking about children, the exempt number of children that they are allowing on cruises that are the unvaccinated. However, recovering from COVID, they do need some documentation. So it's not you say, no, I had it a month ago, it's okay. It has to be at least 10 days ago that you were diagnosed, you have no symptoms, and you have to have official documentation from a healthcare provider on letterhead to say you have recovered from COVID. And that recovery has to have happened in the past 90 days, the past 3 months. Now, I think the interesting part is for vaccinated and non-vaccinated. So just a little hint, maybe we're gonna start allowing some non-vaccinated on the cruise. No word about that. It still says very much so you have to be vaccinated to go, with the exception of some children 12 and under, and only a select number of those. Now, the other hint I think that I saw, and I don't know if this is right or not, or I'm looking too much into it, there are sales, S-A-L-E, there are sales going on that say, vaccinated, ? You're ready to go. Sailings through May of 2022, shop here. So again, not necessarily a rule change, but I'm gonna say a hint into the future. So I'm not saying that you can cruise non-vaccinated after May. I'm just saying right now, they only say, are you vaccinated? You're ready to go. Cruises through May 2022. So if you read between the lines, like I like to try to do, maybe we're starting to see some cruising come back. Now, I have mixed feelings about it. Mainly my mixed feelings are I really enjoy an empty ship. Not empty, but emptier. No lines for dinner. No, overcrowded at the bar or at the club or, the shows. You don't got to show up early. You don't got to whatever. Better chances at bingo. Lots of really good things to me to continue to say less people is better. But let's be real, the more the merrier, right? The party is better when there are more people and just kind of have fun and let loose. So I'm all for letting vaccinated and non-vaccinated people cruise together. Maybe after May, that'll be a reality. We'll see, right? So I'm excited to see the changes. Are you excited to see them? Would you rather them keep it vaccinated forever? For another year? What's your thoughts on that? Or would you rather them see go unvaccinated right now? What are your thoughts? Comment below and let's talk about it. Before we jump into our last story about some changes with Carnival ships, 5 different ships just kind of flip-flopping around, and I'm gonna take your itinerary and I'm gonna take yours. I'd like to welcome you to go to roguetravelerstore.com. I'll put it in the info below, but that's Rogue, R-O-G-U-E, travelerstore.com. It's some pretty cool travel-inspired clothing. I'm wearing one right now. I got my mixtape on. It's all about travel. So really excited to launch this clothing brand. Also, the most important and the most exciting part to me is giving 5% of all the profits to a fund called the Bucket List Fund that allows people who cannot afford to travel otherwise, or have always dreamed of traveling, or maybe going on a cruise or going on a flight somewhere, but they can't afford it. That 5% of the profits set aside every single sale is going to help pay for one of those families, or several of those families. I mean, the more we sell, the more families get to go on a really cool trip. So you can nominate yourself for that trip. You can nominate a friend, a family member, a coworker, a loved one. Go to the website roguetravelerstore.com and buy some cool merchandise, hats, hoodies, shirts, etc. And then send some people on vacation. It'll be super awesome. Thanks so much. Okay, so for people who follow John Heald, sort of the brand ambassador for Carnival, he releases a lot of great information. I would suggest following him. He's really active on Facebook and other socials. Go and follow him because he drops questions that he gets asked all the time. He drops updates. He has live videos from ships that he's on. Some really great insight and information. So John Heald is a great source of information. That's where I got this from. There are changes to 5 different Carnival ships. Now, those ships are the Freedom, the Elation, the Ecstasy, the Spirit, and the Splendor. So over the next 6 months, 8 months, a lot of those ships are taking over each other's itineraries. Now, it's not changing necessarily anything about the cruise right now. So it's not necessarily saying like your ports have been canceled. They did say that all of your pre-purchased items, such as excursions, the Cheers package, Bubbles package, spa treatments, things like that, will go ahead and transfer over to the new ship. However, if you were trying to be on a new ship, or you were trying to check out one you've never been on, or maybe your favorite ship, is the Freedom, and you're like, oh, I want to go on the Freedom, you might not be on the Freedom anymore. So I have the picture up here. You can kind of see which dates are changing to which ships. And if you have any questions, call Carnival, right? I don't know that that's going to change anything. You're going to be able to like demand the ship back. I mean, it's a ship, right? Yeah, so those changes are happening. Be aware of that. That's all the news we have for today. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. I'm going to see you guys later. Have an awesome week. Peace.